See it? Can't see it. Oh, we're live. All right. We never do this part right. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamie,
I'm Wendy.
not Steve, and we're just a married couple who likes beer. And you say, and think you should too.
Yeah, we think you should too.
Yes, and think you should too. So,
I
we'll,
drink to that.
we'll drink to that.
Mhm.
Ooh. We'll tell you what that is in a minute. All right. So, today, let's see, the first things first is where's my phone? Oh, we have to share to our one fan.
Okay.
So, first things first. You are not supposed to do that. This is a professional broadcast.
I'm a very clingy person.
Stop it. Stop. All right. First thing, I gotta show this. Hold on. Silly. Silly. Give me just a minute here. Chat. Share to Twitter. That to this person. Tweet. Hit home. Home again. Go back to YouTube. Share again. Hit that. Turn the volume down on that. This is where we monitor to see if anybody watches. Yeah, because you can't see the tiny, tiny screen way over there. If somebody was part of our production department, no, don't you dare. Share to post. All right, there, that part's done. So seriously, all this craziness, you could do it. I would even pay you in bananas or oranges or grapes if you like it. All right, so anyways, there, all the sharing's done, all the happiness. So, like I said, today Steve had an outing with his family, and because of that, he's not here. And I don't brew without Steve, but I will broadcast without Steve, as you can tell. And I invited my wife. I invented my wife invited my wife in to help. So what we're going to do today is we are going to rack and we're going to keg some beers, which racking is simply moving from the primary fermenter into the secondary fermenter. When you go from the primary fermenter, you get it off the tube, and we've got pot cam right here, so we'll show you a lot of this stuff. And you just kind of it helps clear up the beer, so you're not drinking beer that's full of yeast and things like that, all the sediment and stuff. You try and get rid of that. There are some people that really go far. They do things called cold crashing, where they once the beer is done fermenting, then they get it as close to freezing as possible. So beer, like normal beer, freezes at 28 degrees. So you can drop it down to 30 degrees, and that causes a lot of the stuff to congeal together and settle out to the bottom, and then you can rack again. And the problem with that is you get this thing called chill haze, which we don't understand chill haze. We should look up chill haze. But basically, chill haze
That's my favorite strain. Should try it. Sorry.
This is a family broadcast.
Oh.
Family.
It's legal. Sorry.
Not in Utah. There might be someone watching from Utah.
Okay, we'll have to put a disclaimer then in the beginning of the broadcast.
Chill
I'm sorry. I'm
haze.
sorry.
Silly. So chill haze is actually where you pour your beer and your beer is cold and it has like a little haziness, even though you cleared all of the sediment and stuff out of it. I'd have to research more as to why chill haze happens, but it does happen. And so there you go. That's chill haze. So today we are drinking, it's very important to know, we are drinking a peanut butter stout that I brewed, like 2 months ago. It's several broadcasts ago. I brewed this. And what do you think?
It's good.
It's good. I think it's pretty delicious. So we used, I don't know if it's artificial peanut butter flavoring or if it's really processed peanut butter
I could
flavoring.
have sworn I saw you put regular peanut butter in there.
I did not put regular peanut butter
It
in
had
this beer.
the stuff slathered on the top of the carboy.
No, that was Trub. That was Trub and Krausen. There's two
Mm-mm.
different things. They're all German terms.
I thought that was
True.
peanut butter.
No, it was not peanut butter. It was just Trub and Krausen. So Krausen is the stuff that's all up on the top. Trub or Trub is
No.
the stuff down at the bottom, also known as sludge.
Okay.
So anyways, no, I didn't put real peanut butter in this. And the reason I didn't put real peanut butter was because the oils in peanut butter will ruin your head retention. So when you pour a beer and you get like that little bit of foam up on top, they call that head retention. Well, if you put oils in your beer, like peanut butter oil, not like motor oil, obviously, and I don't know of anyone who brews beer with olive oil, but just certain things have oils in them. Hops have oils in them. Coffee has oil in it. All these things have different oils in them, and when you go into the beer, they destroy that head retention. So if you put straight peanut butter in, it might taste good, and it might even carbonate just fine, but it's going to look just flat.
I'll still drink it though.
I have yet to taste mine.
It's good.
That is good. So tell them why I brewed this.
We went to some bar in Burlington, and yeah, they had like a whole bunch of beer on tap. That they made locally, right?
Well, no, this is, it was, they roast their own coffee.
Oh.
But all the beers are from local breweries.
And the waitress said that one of the specials was this peanut butter chocolate one or something, right? She's making chocolate too.
Peanut butter chocolate milk stout
Yeah.
is by Lost Coast Brewery.
And we were like, yeah, let's give that a try, and we were not disappointed.
And then we tried it again, and then we didn't drive for a while because we tried it too many times.
That's how you know a beer's good.
So we were stuck at the restaurant. Are you gonna leave yet? No. Hour and a half per drink, and I had 4. We close in an hour. Well, we'll leave in 3. Anyways, so that was the inspiration for the peanut butter stout. So we've got many things to do today.
Me too.
None of them I was talking on the broadcast. On the broadcast. Not in life. It's all about the broadcast. All of it.
I'm sorry. I'll keep the interruptions to a minimum.
No, trust me. This is about as professional as it gets on this show. So, in any case, so the place was called the Trainwreck Bar and Grill in Burlington.
Yeah, I think I have the card somewhere.
Yeah. Anyways, they make really good food. I forget what I ate. The only thing we really remember is the
beer.
Is the freaking peanut butter stout. So I made it, and I might try it again. I don't know if I like the brewing process as much because I'm not a big fan of adding things in after the fact. So this, that, and the other. But
I love it when I find money in my pocket.
does that happen to you often?
Not often enough.
So anyhow, the whole secondary adding things is not my thing, and I didn't get around to taking a final gravity reading on that beer because I had added things to the beer before I took the final gravity reading. And the cool thing about the final gravity reading is not only can you get the alcohol content, but a lot of times it'll tell you the calories in the beer. And for those of us trying to watch our girlish figure, that's important. Calories in, calories out, don't you know?
I hate calories.
Calories are good for you. They really are, actually. If there was 0 calories, you would die.
I'm allergic.
You're allergic
I'm
to
allergic
calories?
to calories. They make me swell up.
All right, so there is one thing that we forgot to do last brew day, and that is to read the hot break.
Okay.
Would you like me to read the hot break? The
What's that?
hot break.
What's that?
The hot break is a newsletter put out.
Newsletter?
No, not by us.
Oh,
It's put out by Northwest Brewer Supply. Gotta find it.
oh, the hop.
No, hot.
Okay.
Hot break.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
And the hot break is still part of brewing. So when you brew beer, lover,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing you do, like one of the first steps after steeping your grains, is you get to the boil. And during the boil, they have this thing called the hot break. And that is where a lot of your proteins and solids actually kind of precipitate out and make these big chunkies. And they're the first things to fall out of the beer. And that's the hot break. And then there's a cold break, and that happens again. And it's all part of the process. But Trevor and Ben put out a, there it is. Wow. The end of March, and I'm reading the hot break from the beginning of March. Oh, it's so small because I'm reading it on my phone. I should read it on there. That's all right. This will be okay.
I need more beer.
You need.
I'm telling you, this is good beer.
She needs more beer.
Do you mind if I go get it?
Yeah, go. You know how to pour it, right?
I'll leave you to it.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Are you gonna come back? Come back quick.
I'm coming
All
back.
right.
Come back.
Okay, so here we go. This is from March 1st, 2023. So it's March's hot break, but we can't delay it too long because April is coming, like in less than a week. So yeah. All right. Hi, Jamey. I love the way they call me Jamey. It's like they know me. All right. Springtime is scheduled, though Mother Nature wants to remind us that we are still on the snow schedule. In spite of this last weekend's snow, we have just the ticket to get you ready for the return of blue skies and t-shirt weather. The spring IPA is back in its third installment, and the forecast is looking better with each sip. A long time ago, Miller Lite tried to convince the world that fruit should not go in beer, but even they crumbled under the weight of demand for tastier beer. German purists may be shocked, but fruit in your beer is not a dirty word. Let's pause right there. So, the word Reinheitsgebot, which are the German purity laws, which come from the 16th century. 16th century, people, right? 1500s. That's how old these laws are. They are nothing but government oppression. It is the man holding the beer brewer down. That is what they are. People talk about them, and I think people who don't know think they're this good thing, and they make German beer so amazing. My German friends, I don't want to be offensive, but all the beer tastes the same because there's this set of laws that says you can't do anything cool. So, yeah, German purity laws, I'm not with them. Reinheitsgebot, down with the Reinheitsgebot. It was also about marketing and commercialism, so it's a dark history. Look them up. You'll love it. All right, German purists may be shocked, but fruit in your beer is not a dirty word. Get the lowdown on fruiting your next great beer. All right. We know that hydration is very important. We also know that water tastes better with malt and hops. Right? Too right. All right. Keep the emergency hydration station full with a beer kit sale through March 10th. Ooh, fruit beer. All right. Fruit in beer. Despite the macro beer propaganda of the early 2000s stating that adding fruit to beer was a violation of man law, there's absolutely nothing wrong with adding fruit to your beer. Even the flashy marketing department at Miller Brewing Company would release a lime-flavored Miller Lite shortly after the campaign in clear violation of their own arbitrary notions of what was appropriate in beer. I can already sense the rumblings and whisperings about a certain Bavarian beer purity law, but most of us couldn't even spell the Reinheitsgebot on a bet. See? Thank you.
Much less pronounce it.
Reinheitsgebot. Say it with me. Reinheitsgebot.
We no hablo español.
It's German! All right. The notion of beer purity also requires you to ignore the fact that the 1516 purity law didn't include yeast in the allowed ingredients for beer, and many historians would argue that Reinheitsgebot was most likely a legal device to ensure barley production and stabilize the tax revenue from licensed beer production. What I say, Thank you, Ben and Trevor, supporting me. It was government oppression. Government oppression. Politics is everywhere. You can just go politics no matter what. I love politics, but we're not going to do that. However, it is clear that the Reinheitsgebot, no. Nope. All right. Setting aside all the fanciful arguments, adding fruit flavor to your beer is an excellent way to up your beer game. Is peanut butter a fruit?
No, it's a tuber.
It's a tuber?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tuber. Well, I would call it a fruit. All right. Let's see. Is it any wonder that the most popular hops all boast fruit flavor contributions? Before we can upend a bushel basket of fruit into the fermenter, there are a couple of considerations we need to be aware of. All right. Number one, sanitization. All right. There aren't many rules that we can all agree on, but sanitization is definitely on the short list. Yeah, pretty much sanitize everything. In many cases, alcohol is on our side as ethanol is toxic to most microorganisms. There are bacteria such as Pediococcus, lactobacillus, and wild yeast such as Brettanomyces that are right at home in an alcoholic environment. If you are using whole fruit, remember that the surface of the fruit is covered in yeast and bacteria. A single grape is estimated to have 50,000 bacteria and yeast cells. Bacteria in general multiply faster than yeast due to their smaller size and simplicity. Larger, more complex cells, like fungi, will lag behind bacteria, which means that by the time yeast double their cell count, bacterial colony units could be 4 times higher. For some additions, we can get by with soaking in vodka, as though we were making a tincture, but steaming juice is an option, as well as pasteurization or Campden tablets. So, a lot of talking, but basically, there's a lot of little bugs out there that can get into your beers, and the surfaces of fruit are covered in yeast and bacteria. Like I said, a single grape is estimated to have 50,000 bacteria and yeast cells. So basically, you're running the risk of a
Infection.
thank you, infected beer if you do that. Oxidation. Oxygen is enemy number one in beer. The lengths that brewers will go to ensure that oxygen is kept well away is no surprise here. Additions made at the tail end of primary fermentation tend toward having less impact by O2, as the actively fermenting yeast will uptake any O2 that you added along with your fruit. Additions made later in secondary do tend to have better aroma characteristics that we will discuss shortly. Care and attention is needed when adding fruit at this point. A gentle approach that minimizes splashing is the best course of action. So these are things that can make your beer less good. Oxygen can make your beer stale. Sanitization can make your beer taste like barnyard, which nobody's ever taken us up on telling us what barnyard tastes like, but those are things that can happen. Fruit sources, and there are scores of options to source. The mango for your habanero pale, or the watermelon for your wheat beer. All right, I had an habanero beer the other day.
Why?
Because you had it too. We were down at Wicked Teutons.
Oh yeah.
Or Wicked Teuton.
I didn't like it.
No, it was way spicy. There are certain things that don't go in beer. If you ask me, just my opinion, and one of them is definitely spicy peppers. Not a big fan of spicy peppers. All right, fresh fruit. Whether you are shopping at your local mart or growing an heirloom variety in your backyard can make a dramatic difference. Most of the fruit sold in the supermarket has been developed to look good and survive a trip on a truck. Unfortunately, these motivations are often at the expense of flavor. Heirloom varieties, on the other hand, while they might not last as long, taste better. Price difference versus flavor is a compelling argument. Continuing on. Using fresh fruit requires some processing and pasteurization. Smaller pieces will have a larger surface area, and this will speed up the flavor extraction. To pasteurize, you can mash your fruit into a saucepan, heat to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and hold for 15 minutes. It is advisable to avoid boiling, as several of the flavor and aroma compounds that you want in your beer will be destroyed by the heat. At 170, you're killing unwanted pathogens and preserving most of the flavors and aromas. The simplest method is to use potassium metabisulfite, or 1 Campden tablet per gallon of fruit mash, 24 hours before adding it to the fermenter. Oxidation is less of a concern as the resulting fermentation will consume any O2. Hello, Jade! And we have our first live viewer. Say hello to Jade. She lives down in Seattle. Jade,
Cool.
this is my wife. Wife, Jade.
Hi, Jade. Nice to meet you.
To date, Jade is a heart icon.
Cool.
Maybe we'll go drink beer with her someday. Utilization. It is most often recommended to add your fruit in the primary when the wort is 1.020 or in secondary. There is another sparge that we need to concern ourselves with. In all grain brewing, we sparge the grains to remove more sugar from the mash. Gas sparging is when a gas is bubbled through liquid to remove other gases. If you think about aroma compounds, these are dissolved volatile gas molecules. During active fermentation, yeast make a lot of CO2, which can remove these compounds from our beer. By waiting towards the end of fermentation or in secondary, we preserve these aromatic compounds all the way to your nose as you drink. So the point being is we don't throw our fruit mash in right at the beginning because all that CO2 that the yeast is making will take a lot of the flavors and the aromas out with it, and that doesn't help it. The amount of fruit will vary depending on the type of fruit or beer. Included at the end of this article is a chart with some suggested usage amounts. The short answer is that 1 pound per gallon of beer is a good starting point. And we make 5-gallon batches, so 5 pounds. All right. Then we go into dried fruit. Dried fruit or dehydrated fruit will often result in similar results as compared to fresh fruit. Additions made right in the boil have the added benefit of pasteurization right in the kettle because you're boiling it. So there you go. You're sterilizing everything. Keep in mind that a recipe that calls for fresh fruit will not be the same weight in dried or dehydrated. There's a conversion chart at the end of this article to help you do the conversions should you only be able to source a dehydrated fruit and your recipe has weights for fresh fruit. Extracts and concentrates, and that's what I use to make the peanut butter beer that we are drinking today. I definitely used an extract or a concentrate.
I'll drink to that.
All right. Since those whom are likely to read this article are big into the DIY aspect, making your own tinctures is a great way to supercharge the flavor without having any of the byproducts, chiefly fruit solids or pulp, to remove from your beer. And no lie about that. We should look into making tinctures because I hate straining all that gunk out of the carboys after you're done. It's a pain in the butt. So, quick Google search should arm you with the fruit tincture recipe that you're after, but the process is pretty easy. Into a sanitized mason jar, add your flavoring element. If you are tincturing fruit, it is recommended to chop the fruit into very small pieces to increase the amount of fruit flavor that is extracted from them by whatever you're making the tincture with. All right. Pour 50 proof vodka and soak for 2 to 6 weeks, depending on the recipe. Vodka. Strain the solids and add to your beer in secondary or at packaging. Start small and add more to taste. And the reason for vodka is because it has a very neutral flavor.
Do you think we can use that Grey Goose vodka we've had in our cabinet?
You know, the one that we've had in our cabinet for...
in our pantry.
How long have we had that? 7 years?
The boys were riding the bus with Miss Terry.
I know, they were
That
little
was a
boys.
long time ago.
Yeah, so we have like a 15-year-old bottle of vodka. Yes, we absolutely could use it.
But it's kind of a waste, though, because that's like a name brand.
Are you ever going to drink it?
I'll make screwdrivers one day. You can get something from Hagen for like $10 and use that.
Or we could use that for free.
Or if you use a high-quality vodka, will it make a difference?
I don't really think so.
There's only one way to find out.
We'll have to buy more vodka.
Vodka.
All right. Strain the solids and add to your beer in secondary or packaging. Start small and add more to taste. So that's basically what you do is you put them in a mason jar with your chunks of fruit and you add the vodka. And then when you pour it out, you get rid of the solids and you just pour the vodka into your beer. The vodka itself.
We should start with Absolute vodka.
With Absolute vodka? Why, is it cheap?
No, it's kind of middle
okay.
Ground.
All right. Where are we at?
Vodka.
Right. Australia. For the amount of flavoring element, it is up to you and your willingness to experiment. For herbal tincture, Do your research to confirm the safety. Many plants may have toxic substances that can harm or impact certain medications. So yeah, that'd be bad to actually hurt yourself with beer because you put in some sort of tincture of something that reacted with your blood pressure medicine.
Yeah, that's another reason why I had to lay off beer because of my medications.
Yeah, that's rough. So right here, you can't see it, but right here on my phone is the chart. It's got apricots, blackberries, blueberries, cherries, sour, cherries, sweet, citrus, currants, mango, passion, peaches, plums, pumpkin, fresh or canned. Pumpkin. You want to do a pumpkin beer?
I've never been impressed with pumpkin beer.
Pumpkin spice,
Just,
pumpkin spice, everything.
You know, bread
Except for
and
pumpkin spice.
cupcakes and pies.
And pies.
That's the only way pumpkins are good.
Have you ever had pumpkin soup?
And soup. Soup is good.
Pumpkin soup?
Oh
See,
yeah.
I'm down
yeah.
with pumpkin
It's
soup.
good.
So have you ever had pumpkin beer?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay, well, there you go. The wrap up. Given our location and abundant availability of so many fresh fruit and berry options, there should be no shortage of inspiring flavor combinations in your brew house. Armed with a little curiosity and some sound data, your beer's flavor game is off the charts. Now that's some. Pause for catchy music theme, good eats. That's the end. I read that. Let's try that ending again. Now that's some. Pause for catchy music theme, good eats. Okay, there.
Good job, sweetie.
Anyhow.
Isn't he smart? He's so smart.
All right, let go. So we have today, this month, we have assembled a new IPA kit for the season. We like to look at different ingredients and create a light, easy drinking IPA, perfect for the brighter coming days ahead. So if you're in the Burlington and Mount Vernon area, you definitely need to drop by Ben and Trevor's store and check out their offerings because we have yet to be disappointed by any of their beers. All right, now we have to do some work. So what we are doing today, though, before this beer gets ruined by the sun, because sunlight is one thing that does ruin beer, is we need to rack beers. So the first thing we're going to do is put beer in a keg.
Let's put it in its place.
I'm going to put the beer in the keg. Now, one thing I need
is for me to
sit down and smile at the camera. Watch over here and see if there's any comments. Oh, look, low power mode. That's fantastic. I'll be right back. We need.
Do I have to grab it?
Nope. So this, let's go ahead and switch cameras here. This right here is obviously a graduated cylinder. But inside of it is this thing. And this is a hydrometer. And if we look right, where is it? Right here. This scale here that we're looking at, I don't know if you can see it in the sun because I can't see the computer screen. But anyhow, this scale here is specific gravity, and it starts at 1.000, which is technically the specific gravity of water. And then as you add sugars and things to the beer, it increases the specific gravity. Let's go back to regular cam. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with, we're going to start with the other one. So it's interesting to me that we're talking about fruit beers because as it would so happen, we have here an orange breakfast ale, which I made. So I made a breakfast ale a while back, and I thought it was really delicious. And then, change that. I thought that maybe what we could do is actually add some orange. So with this beer, right into the boil, towards the end of the boil, I basically peeled 3 oranges. So I took the peels from 3 oranges and just threw them right into the boiling pot. And I let them do. And so, anyways, the 3 oranges went straight into that, and we're going to taste it and see how that turned out. So, this is our water lock. In addition to this, we have our auto siphon, which we'll go to regular cam and show you that. So this is the auto siphon. Has a big hose. This has been sanitized. So let's not drop it on the ground. Pull up, push down, and it starts siphoning into the keg. Right there. Put this back down for a minute. We need the keg right now. Go back to pot cam, move pot cam back a little bit, get some room. Get the keg here, which has also been sanitized. At this point in the game, usually it's not quite, sanitization is still important, but you don't have to be quite as scared because there is really not enough sugar and stuff left in the beer to give any sort of bugs or yeasties a good foothold to get going. So what we do here is we take our auto siphon, stick it down in here like so, put the other end down into the keg, down to the bottom of the keg so that we avoid any oxygenation of the beer. And then you pull up and push down, and there it goes. And it just siphons the beer into the keg below, which we can look at right there. So this is the point where I want to know what my specific gravity is. So we'll take this graduated cylinder, and I'm not going to lie, I really hate this part because it wastes so much beer, if you ask me. But you got to do what you got to do.
What's gravity, like the alcohol gravity?
Yep, exactly. So all we do is fill up this cylinder like that. Put that back down there, reduce the amount of splashing. We can put that off to the side for now. The other thing that we need to do, and this part doesn't bother me at all. All right, are you ready? You ready to fill the glasses? Or you want me to do it?
I'll help you. What do you need me to do? Just hold it?
I will hold the tube and you throw the glasses underneath the stream and fill them up. Go. That's good. Hurry. I gave all this talking about oxygenation and now we're just bubbling beer. Good. Then we get this back down in there. And then you just wait. So this is what we've got. And that's relatively clear. Not as clear as it could be. One for Wendy. Let's go ahead and switch cameras again. This is where it'd be really nice to have a production staff. All right, are you ready? So it's still flat, obviously, but this is orange breakfast ale.
I'll drink to that. It's good.
You like it?
I dig it.
Can you taste the orange? I can taste the orange.
Um,
It's not quite as strong as I expected it to be.
I guess that makes me a lightweight.
Well,
It's
maybe you have.
bitter. The the bitter the way I like it. My favorite kind of bitter.
Ah,
It's not disgusting bitter. It's pleasant bitter. But I don't taste the orange.
yeah. I gotta admit, the orange flavor is not as strong. Orange flavor is not as strong as I would like it to be.
But it's still good. Is that what you call the
Say again?
There's a word for it when you make something taste fruity. Terpene? Terpine?
Terpine? Terpinate?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it an orange terpene?
What I do know is that my iPad died.
And that his beer is good. This is good. I know this is gonna be good, and when it gets carbonated, it's gonna be better. Oh yeah.
Hire a teenager. So, Jade says, hire a teenager. We were hoping for a free production team, to be honest. Just free.
Or you could go to like freelancer or something, or Fiverr. You can find somebody on Fiverr to do it.
True. But,
To edit?
Hmm?
To edit? You want to edit it?
no!
What are you talking about?
I want somebody to press the button so when we go to PotCam, I don't have to run across there and press the button.
Or you can get that device where you step on it.
I suppose I could.
We were just talking about that last night.
Well, that was for changing pages on music.
Well, you can.
I'm sure there's a ridiculously $5,000 device that I could spend to flip pages. Set. Bribe a teenager then. We could bribe a teenager, I'm sure. Do we know any teenagers? Steve's daughter's a teenager. I should hire the boys. The boys would do it if they could figure it out. No, not Jaime. That'd be a bad idea.
Poor Timmy.
So, yeah, this could have been better. Could have
I
been
like
better.
it.
You like it?
I'll drink it if you don't want to.
Well, it'll taste much different once it's carbonated too. That'll help it a little bit.
But it's showing promise right out the
It's
gate.
showing promise
Yes.
right out the gate.
Mhm. 'Cause there was some beers that he's brewed in the past where I tasted. I'm like, oh, no, keep it away from you. When you carbonate it, it's okay. Thank you. This is good. And I know I'm gonna enjoy this one.
As much as the peanut butter stout.
Mm-hmm. The peanut butter stout was another one that, as soon as I drank it, I knew.
You knew?
I knew.
So, while we're letting that do its thing, we can move this over here. And actually, let's get PotCam back into the works.
Get out of the way.
Oh, you're fine. I'm just going to move PotCam over here a little bit. Switch the camera. Actually, I think what we'll do here, let's go down. See a little better there? Not really. I'm going to try and get closer and closer. Nope. This is not working, but you know what I do have? I got a table right here that we can move that. Back up, PotCam, back up. That works. So the idea here, get our little hydrometer thing. Oh, we're gonna need some paper towels. More paper towels. Could you go get us more paper towels? Or like a plate. Give me a plate.
Dinner plate?
No, just like a little saucer plate. Like one of the special plates we use. So we got to wait for Wendy to get back because we're going to drop this in there. And then what's going to happen is it'll kind of float up there. And this is going to overflow a bit. And so it's going to float a little bit. And then you look and see where it comes on this this scale. And then you write that number down and then you put it into a calculator. And then the calculator can tell you how much alcohol is in your beer. Yeah, perfect. That is a perfect plate. Thank you so much. Okay. I also need to, before we do that though, now some people will not tip their beer, but I just hate the thought of losing even a little bit of beer. I mean, it hurts my soul just to fill that graduated cylinder to check the alcohol content. So
On that way to waste not, want not.
That's right. And there we go. And what was full is now empty. Let the rest of that drain down in there. Move off to the side. Put this back over here on this paper towel. We need to rinse that before we go further. All right, so let's go ahead and check the ABV on this beer. So all we do is drop this in here. Give it a little bit of a spin. And if we're super lucky, it'll end with the numbers facing the camera. I don't think we're going to get that lucky. Maybe I can turn it just a little bit. So what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing it very clearly in the camera, that's for sure. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Well, that looks like it almost got it there. So right here is, you see how the beer kind of does this thing up on the thing? That's where we measure at. And now the camera can see it, but I cannot. So I'm looking. So each little tick is 0.002. So what I'm seeing with this is 1.017. That's what I see. Now I have to navigate away from the monitoring and go to my notes. Because I have all my recipes here. And this was the breakfast ale. So the original gravity was 1.0139. So the final gravity (1.017). So then we can go. Do you have your phone?
No, it's charging.
Oh, okay.
Want
Well,
me to get it?
no, it's not that important. There we are. Back to live.
So will this get you lit up?
Hmm?
Will this get you lit up?
What do you mean lit up?
Tipsy, boozy,
Oh yeah.
drunk.
Sorry, I don't speak slang. I speak some slang. When I think lit up, I think having your head handed to you by a supervisor, though.
Different context.
I gotcha. I know what you're saying. All right, so that takes care of the keg. Oh, and it's much heavier now than when it was before. And we can just put that off to the side. Put that down in the basement. Hit it with 30 psi for a couple days. Back it off to 10 psi. Let it set for about 5 more days, and bam, we're drinking beer. All right. Do you want me to go get you more beer, more peanut butter stout?
I suppose.
All right. I'll be right back. Have fun staring at this. Love you.
Love you.
All right, and I'm back, and she's gone. Okay, Wendy seems to have gone off to somewhere. Not sure where. But the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. We can take this, put it in here. Bonk. Now this next beer, this is a blonde Bock, which a Bock is generally a lager, but in this case, I used an ale yeast to make it. So this one is ready to go into the secondary. And now we're not going to take the gravity on this one because it's not done doing its thing. But we are going to go ahead and move this over here. And took that off just a little too soon. If you look close, we'll go back here. If you look here, you can see like this thick sediment down at the bottom. That's called the trube. I prefer trub, but I think it's trube. The trube at the bottom. And then up here, you can see this band of gunky stuff. That's called the krausen. And when this stuff is active, there's actually a thick layer of foam all over the top of the beer. Now, in this beer's case, it's already done with its primary fermentation cycle, so most of that krausen has coagulated together and fallen to the bottom of the keg and become part of the trube. Point being, though, you don't want to drink this. You don't want to drink that. You want to drink all of this in between. This is the good stuff. But we got to get it from here to the other place. Now, I got to go rinse out the auto siphon because I don't want this beer to taste like orange beer. So I'll be right back. Just enjoy staring at a jug of beer. Be right back. All right. Now we'll put down the clean secondary. We know it's a secondary because it has an orange handle.
I would have never known.
That's actually not the real reason. Get 2 more taster glasses.
We could use this one again, can we, or no?
No. Let's use fresh taster glasses. I mean, it only takes 30 seconds to wash all 4 of them. Put that in there. Put that down there. And the same thing.
Is this the same one?
No, this is a blonde box. You like box, right?
At one time, I was nutso about it. I don't know. I outgrow flavors.
It's true. You do get kind of sick of them after a
Yeah,
while.
and then I move on to new ones. And my flavor of the day still is Nukies.
Newcastle.
Oh, man. Can we make that next? I would love that.
Yeah, I have a Newcastle clone. You want me to make the Newcastle clone
Oh,
again?
yeah. I love Newcastle so much.
All right, you ready?
Oh, shoot.
Give me a second. All right, go. Good. Go. Good. Get that down in the bottom. Get out of here. All right, and I think if we look, you can see this one is a little cloudier than the other one is, which is not surprising because this has a lot of stuff to get cleared up out of it. And like I said, we're not going to bother. Weirdo. We are not going to bother to take a gravity on this one because this is in an intermediate stage. But we will take the final gravity when we're completely done. All right, back to regular cam. So, what do you think so far? Is this one a good one?
It's almost like the one from last night at Wicked Two Tones.
Which one was that?
The second one.
The second one. I don't know which one that was.
It was good though. I like it. It's okay.
This one is more orangey than the orange breakfast stout.
Yeah, you think so?
Yes. I don't know how that happened.
You didn't put oranges in this one?
I did not put oranges in this one. I put oranges in that one.
Are you sure you didn't switch them out or something? By
I am
mistake?
positive I didn't switch them out on by mistake.
Happens, you know.
I go back through our very accurate video logs.
Oh, you log it.
Log everything. Well, we don't log everything. We just take a video, and that way we know what's happening.
That's a log.
Mm-hmm. A log of sorts.
And this is good.
And it got cold. At least the sun's out. But it got chilly really quick. So now we just wait for that to go away.
This?
Mm-mm. This. And that's pretty much all we were going to do today. We're just going to move one beer into a keg and another beer into a secondary. Taste what we got. I was pleased. I thought it was okay.
I am pleased too.
We are pleased.
This
We are
is very
pleased with our beer.
pleasing.
Pleasing beer.
Yes. I drink to
Oops.
that.
But now we can go back to the finished beers.
Yeah, you're right. That tastes like a freaking bite of an orange.
It does.
But
Maybe I did mix them up. I'm pretty sure I didn't, though.
it's still good though.
In fact, I know I didn't. Oh, so weird.
I'm just gonna savor this taste before I dip into my peanut butter beer. You know how when you drink a beer that's good and it's the last one you're gonna get for whatever reason, and you're like, okay, let me just cherish this moment.
I buy another beer.
I like to taste my beers. That's how good beer tastes.
Excuse me, little miss. I won't drink any beer above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You can't taste nothing at that temperature.
Well, when you're at a bar, it's not like you can tell the bartender to cold your beer more.
50
You
degrees.
take what you get, you know,
50
especially
degrees.
especially at $7 a glass or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
no doubt.
I'm not complaining at that point.
I'm telling you, 50 degrees. Most of the beers that I make should be drank between 40 and 50 degrees. None of this 34 degree stuff.
It tastes good, really cold. I don't know what it is. It's just, it changes everything for me and makes it better.
Well, I will admit, lagers like Coors Light and Budweiser taste really good, really cold.
I had a Coors Light yesterday as I was at a sports bar. Because I'm a menu coward, as Jamie calls me.
Well, I got to tell you, I know where you went, and when we went there, they didn't have an amazing selection of beers. They probably have the same selection of beers that the restaurant upstairs has. And I was just like,
There was a lot of IPAs. And I'm not very adventurous when it comes to beer tasting because I hate wasting beer so much that even if I order a beer that I do not like, I drink it anyway. And it's like torture to drink a beer that you think is nasty. And I think a lot of beers are nasty. Except this one. It's good.
You like the Newcastle clone
And the Newcastle.
and the coconut stout.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You
And
know,
that one and that one.
at one point I thought that this was coconut. This was right when the keg for the coconut finished.
That was a sad day. That coconut stout. This isn't a freaking expensive beer. These are expensive beers, relatively speaking. I mean, they're all expensive compared to like a 20-pack of Coors Light, but they're so much better than Coors Light.
Quality versus quantity.
Mm.
Are we done?
We're almost done.
Okay.
We're just draining the rest. In
I'm
fact, I
cooking
think
dinner tonight. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We still have to go to the store and get chicken because it's $50 to what'd you call that?
Instacart.
Instacart, whatever that is,
Yeah.
to deliver everything. Never leave your home again. Just deliver, deliver, deliver.
But
And then they're gonna get drones, and we're all just gonna stay in these little cubicles in our houses with like translucent skin. What?
I'd rather pay $50 for a pack of chicken breasts than go out in a state such as the state I'm in myself and get pulled over and get a freaking monster ticket as well as getting charged with stuff any time of the day. That's just me.
Or maybe we could wait a little bit and your husband will drive into town and get the chicken breast. That's what we might do. All right. So, anyways, that's about the end of the broadcast for today. This is going to finish up. Oh, actually, we can't sign off yet
Mm-hmm.
because by the time we're done signing off, this is going to be empty and we're going to get all sorts of sludge and nastiness in here.
And you want to put that on camera?
No, I don't want to put sludge and nastiness in the beer at all.
Are we done?
Almost done. You haven't signed off yet. A little bit of sludgies went down in there, but that's okay. They'll filter out.
It gives it character.
It gives you gas. That's what it does.
I can vouch for that. Oh wow, it got more cloudy.
That's all right. Like I said.
Is that gonna settle down? Let me grab that.
Yeah, hang on to that. Thank you. Wipe that down a little bit. All right, now we can sign off. We'll go back to regular cam. Have a seat. Hey, look at the camera and say, all right, we're going to go ahead and sign off now. Like we always say, relax. And then you say, don't worry.
Don't worry.
And then we say together, have a homebrew. Let's try it again. You ready?
Okay.
Relax.
Don't worry.
Have a homebrew.
I drink to that.
All right. And find the button. Where's the button? There. Quick. And there.